Well, hello there, my beautiful people. My gorgeous, sassy, independent, amazing, positive, open minded, beautiful people. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the LP Variety Hour, number 7. And in case you guys have never experienced the LP Variety Hour before, yet again, guys, this is just me talking, and this is something for you guys to just pass time with. And actually, I want to talk about the winner of last week. And I want you guys to comment. If you guys are doing something terrible when you guys are listening to this, I want you to comment the activity that you're doing. And the winner for last week for worst activity is, excuse me if I butcher your guys' names. I apologize ahead of time. I believe it's Chibi USA. And he was cleaning the bathroom. And that can be a terrible activity. 30 minutes, that's just about right for cleaning the bathroom. Now, also, you could be doing cardio while you're doing this. I'm going to try for that 20 to 30 minute mark each week, so that way you guys know just about how much time that you have. Now, this week, I'm going to be answering people's requests from last week. And if you guys have anything that you guys want me to talk about, please comment and leave it in the comments, because I'm going to try and read them every single week and bring up the suggestions the next week. First one is from, now, excuse me again, guys. I might butcher your names, and it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I don't know how to read people's names sometimes, and that's just how it is. Now, who is this? This is Ashminko. Wants me to talk about goal setting and how to set goals, basically, and just goal setting in general. Now, one thing I want to tell people, and I'm just going to talk about this right here, because there's just a million things that you could talk about when it comes to goal setting. If you want to see where you want to be, you have to know where you started. And a lot of people, they don't want to admit that they don't like that they're in the package that they're in, or they don't like what they see about themselves, and they don't like themselves. So they don't want to document themselves. But I can tell you that one of the biggest things that has helped me so much on my journey that I've been on, from skinny guy to not big guy, but I'm getting there, is that knowing where I started. And anytime that you feel bad about yourself, you can always look at where you started because you took a picture. And if you don't take a picture, then you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know where you started, and it's hard to document for yourself because you always see yourself every single day. It's not even every single day. You see yourself every second of the day. And today, with how caught up people are and how they look, a lot of people look at themselves quite often. And if you don't like what you're seeing, and you're sitting there looking at it a million times in a day, that's not good, man. So you need to my biggest, okay, so let's just say that you're in the hospital. You're my friend, and you got in like a really bad car crash, okay? And you're on like life support. You've got all this stuff hooked up to you, lots of tubes, all sorts of things. This sounds like a weird scenario, okay? But what I would do for you as a friend is I would take a picture of you at your worst state. Right when you get in there, you've got all the machines hooked up, you're bandaged and all bloody, look terrible. So that way when you wake up, when you wake up from whatever coma you're in, or whatever it is that has happened to you, when you wake up and you've healed, I can show you that picture. Most likely you would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I was in that bad of condition, because you were in that condition. You've been in that condition. You are living in the body. There is no external view of yourself. I mean, there are mirrors and stuff like that, but you're looking at yourself from your own eyeballs. It's not from another perspective. And so one of the biggest things I can tell you guys is that if you don't like where you're at, and generally I can pretty much say that we're talking about progress when it talks to goal setting, probably weight loss, weight gain, physique competitions, bodybuilding, all this stuff. The biggest thing I can suggest is take a picture now. Take a picture right now and just improve that person that's in that picture. And if you can do that, then I mean it becomes more simple that way, because you've just got this little thing that you can look at and you can go, I want to be better than that guy. Or if you're on a weight loss journey, I want to be smaller than that person right there. I want to weigh less. You can take a picture of the number on the scale if you want to. At least you've documented it and you know it in your head. At least you have some kind of documentation of the beginning, and you can look back at the beginning and you can go, oh my gosh, okay, I have made some progress. I've been feeling really bad about it. You know what? This is one thing that I've seen me and John, Obese to Beast, both do this. Quite often, when you see him open his phone, the wallpaper on his phone is a picture of him when he was super big, like really big, at the peak of his bigness when he was super fat. And I think he has it there as a reminder. Like, that's where I was, Now, that's a little potent for me in my story because I don't quite have the psychological battle of, me and Skinny it was kind of, lame. I didn't realize I was so skinny. But you don't nearly deal with the same stuff as when you're obese and all that stuff. So it's a little bit of a different story. But if you were on a weight loss journey, especially, I feel like taking pictures right now, baby. You need to do that. Do it today. After you listen to this, or even do it right now. Hit pause. Go do it. At least you've documented something. You have something that you've documented. It's like a it's like a milestone. It's a little marker for you on the freeway, and you're traveling down the freeway, and you have markers, and you know how far you've gone. That was a good analogy. That just came right off the top of my head. I didn't even write that down, baby girl. Boom. Yeah. All right. The next person that wanted me to talk about something is bearded fat loss, and actually I got to meet this guy at the Arnold, and I was extremely excited. I believe there's a picture on my Instagram somewhere. What did he want me to talk about? He wants me to talk about the life/progress debate. Basically the life/gym balance. How much are you living your life compared to, how much are you going to the gym and worrying about caloric intake and your food and all that stuff, and how much are you, quote unquote, not having fun, aka going out and drinking with your friends. Because we all know that that's what people mean when they say, you don't really like to have fun, do you? Well, your world has been boiled down to you just drinking all the time. And that's nobody's fault but yours. So if somebody has a little bit of fun being healthy and going to the gym all the time, and that's what gets them off, and they get high or whatever off that, then that's what they do. And I apologize. I apologize if that offends you or anything like that. I feel like I feel like the gym / living life debate, it usually, people that bring that up are usually they're not really good people to be talking to, and they're not normally very positive people, because normally when a positive person sees someone really trying at something and they're trying to fix every aspect of their life to cater to this one thing, and they have a passion for it, most positive people would be like, oh man, that's pretty cool that guy that guy excuse me that guy is so passionate about something, and he decides to cater everything to that. Now, some people go a little bit too far. Some people neglect their family and stuff like that when it comes to fitness. Some people never have any friends because of their addiction to being aesthetically pleasing, and sometimes competitors and people that compete will, oh man, they throw a lot aside for competitions and stuff like that, and sometimes when you are doing your carb cycling and stuff like that, and you're restricting carbs, doing X amount of cardio a day and all that stuff. I'm doing a prep, but I'm by no means doing a prep that some of these people do. Some of these people are on these crazy keto diets where there's only protein, and they're doing, I don't even know how much cardio. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I've heard that literally your sex drive goes down, all sorts of stuff. Now, there's people would debate how far is too far when it comes to, being aesthetically pleasing looking and being quote unquote peeled, shredded. Matt Ogus recently said, I want to look like a wiener. I want to look like I have wiener skin because I'm so shredded and I have no fat. You can just see every single vein. I was like, oh my gosh, that is the weirdest analogy that I've ever heard in my life for someone comparing their body when it comes to like being shredded or low fat. He wants to look like a wiener. It's very strange to me. Anyhow, what I was talking about. When it comes to the gym slash, quote unquote living life debate, it's very that's a I guess it all depends where your values lie. A lot of people get kind of like bent out of shape whenever they hear that somebody doesn't want to have kids or something like that. But that person might like decide to chase a crazy bodybuilding, a physique career and winning physique competitions and stuff like that. And because they've got a lot of spare time, they can do all that stuff, and they've just catered their life to doing that. And maybe they don't like to go out drinking at all. They just hate drinking, and so they can do all this. I find that a lot of people drinking has a lot to do with them having fun. And if you don't drink, then you're not a fun person. Like legit, literally. I've seen. I can't talk about like who it is or what it is, but I've seen a lot of situations where someone will literally miss out on like a closer relationship with someone, like a business relationship or a like a sponsorship situation, stuff like that, over not they didn't go party with the person. So then therefore they're not as close as the people that do go party with them. And that to me is like it's so weird how like there's like this like subculture of like drinking and partying all the time and like chasing tail, man, trying to get laid. It's like this like weird strange subculture, and once you quit participating in it and you become like quote unquote unfun, you're not a fun person anymore, and your friends quote unquote friends don't like you anymore. Like you start watching it and it's just it becomes asinine and very silly. And I don't know. I quit participating quite a while ago, and you watch how much people concern themselves with trying to impress the opposite sex. Like literally their whole entire existence, even their car, the shoes they wear, the watch, the cologne, everything is catered to trying to impress the opposite sex and trying to get sex from the opposite sex. It's just like, if you were to just quit doing that, think about how much time you'd have for yourself. Oh man, you could spend so much time on yourself, and then people would pursue you. But okay, third time. Then people would pursue you because you're basically showing that you can, work on yourself, and you are calm and collected enough to not worry about what other people think, and you can just spend not time on yourself and be selfish, but you can manipulate your own world to cater to what you're doing and what you want to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I didn't quite answer that question really. I kind of beat around the bush and just kind of hit on some interesting points. But thank you very much, Bearded Fat Loss, for your input. And I kind of riffed off of your point. I totally didn't answer your question. I apologize, man. But we were just talking about negative people. And actually, what I want to talk about does have to do with the quote unquote living quote unquote life, and goals and progress and stuff like that. And it's negative people. But I'm talking about today. I want to talk about a particular negative person, and I want you guys. I don't want to say shut this person out of your life, but you don't. I never want to tell you to ignore anyone, but quite often you'll know when someone's going to be negative. You already know it's coming. You see it coming, and you can just kind of like shut off. You just kind of go, oh, here we go. All right. Yep. Get it out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And some people you can talk to over and over and over about being positive and trying to help them be positive and try to help them sculpt their filter on life. But unfortunately, some people, they just don't change, and you've got absolutely no choice but to just kind of deal with them in your world, and you just kind of have to deal with them. So that's just how it is. And you just kind of have to like shut off for a minute and just kind of go, yep, I know that football team, terrible. Yeah, Hillary Clinton, yeah, I know. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, okay. Water shortage, okay. Yeah, everything's very bad. Everything's horrible. Okay. All right, that's out of the way. Okay, now we can continue on our day. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to do that. Some people are just like a lump on the log, and all they have is just judgments on the world to set. Like they just have like judgments to pass. They're just like a little judgment ball, and things just come in their world for them to judge and say negative things about, and then pass out the other side. That's really all they do all day. Like some people are like they're and now that I've pointed this out, you're gonna notice this in conversations quite often now. Like it's so easy to talk negatively too, and that's what makes me really sad is that people dwell in this. They become this like just this little lump that sits there in the road and just judges and points its finger. And and one thing that this I don't know how to describe this kind of personality, but this personality, another thing that it loves doing is showing great disdain towards things and like getting very like it likes to get offended very quickly, and it likes to make a production out of being offended. It's this strange personality that I feel like comes from like a lot of reality shows and stuff like that. A lot of reality shows. They really magnify the drama of people being offended and fighting, and it gets put on a pedestal almost. And whenever a human watches something over and over again, it's gonna mimic what it sees. There's like no debating that. If you see something over and over and over again all the time, you're gonna do the same thing. It's just how it is. Now some people have like a stronger will as to is as to not doing things that other people do. And I admire those people. I love those people that are like way against the grain and they do their own thing over here. And they don't really care about other people. They just don't care about them. And they do this thing is their thing. They see all that stuff on TV. No, I'm doing this, man. This is my thing. I'm going to wear this instead. I like those people. I like weird people. Weird people make me really happy. Like, if you guys saw, like, you will be somewhere, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to drop this story on you real quick. I was at the 99-cent store. This was maybe a month ago or something like that. I was filming a vlog. I wish I could have filmed this guy, but I'm weird about filming people in public. This guy, he came in on like this crazy looking old black motorcycle that was just, I mean, this thing was so decrepit and terrible, looked very unsafe. He gets off of his motorcycle and he runs into the 99-cent store, like a slow run, doesn't take off his helmet, has his sunglasses on, and he comes up to like, he's a short little dude, but as he runs around like Yosemite Sam, he's running around, he's like, he runs to the back, he grabs a beer. Yes, the 99-cent store, this particular one sells beer. I don't remember what kind it was. It was a Mexican beer. And then he starts running around, going to the different staff, and he's like, I need an energy. Where's the energies? I need an energy. I want a blue energy. And what he was, I'm sure, talking about was a blue energy drink, which is probably the sugar-free Monsters with the blue M on them, which is aisle 3. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what aisle. But he kept running around asking people, where's my blue energy? I need an energy. Need an energy. This guy runs up to the counter and just like cuts everyone in line, goes right up. No one says anything to him. He gets his beer and his blue energy and then runs out to his bike and doesn't even like throw the energy drink in his plastic bag like into a compartment on his bike or anything. He just like hucks it over the handlebars, starts that thing, and he is out of there, like gone. Like he is like, see ya, got my blue energy and my beer, I'm gone. And I was blown away by this guy. I was just like, oh my gosh, that guy was amazing. That was an amazing person. Like that was a unique, crazy human being that I just saw. And he just came into my world for a second and definitely entertained me. And you as a human being, guys, you have a choice to either be irritated by people or entertained by people. And this is something that I go over all the time, like with my friends and stuff. I don't know if I've talked about this here before, but as soon as you can entertain yourself with people, you live life completely differently. Let's just say that there is someone that he just disdains everything you do at the gym, and you can tell he like shakes his head and he's like all flustered and he's like, oh my god. He talks to his friend. He's like, oh my god, I can't believe that. But you see that you fluster him, and so you can either get like you can either be like, oh my god, you get mad that somebody's talking about you and be like angry about it, or you can have fun with it, and you can just be like, oh, okay, I fluster somebody. Okay, well, if you're gonna talk about me, I might as well give you something good, like go hop on the bench press on a leg day and just grab the bar and like let out like a really high pitched womanly scream and let up like do like one rep as you scream like a girl really loud. Put your feet up in the air at the end of the rep and then just rack the weight and then walk out of the gym. And picture what it's gonna do to that guy that's been talking smack about you. What is it gonna do to his brain? His brain is about to fold in on itself because he's not gonna know what you just did. He's got no clue. And the next time you come in, do another weird thing if you want to. Like, if they're talking about you, might as well give them something fun to talk about. I don't know. I've kind of, my energy levels have kind of decreased just a little bit. I used to bring like a teddy bear into the gym sometimes. He has an Instagram. You can check him out. Bernie the Bear. Berny the Bear. Bernie the Bear. I used to bring this bear into the gym, man, because I figured, you know what? If you're going to talk about me and look at me all the time, this is something I legit used to do. He has a little Beyond the Week beanie. He's got a Beyond the Week little shirt and everything. And I know I should really hop on my Instagram game and probably start up his Instagram again. But what I would do is if I saw somebody looking at me, I would take him out of my bag and I would put the bear on like a high point where the person would definitely see it if they were looking at me, and I would make sure that Bernie was pointed right at them. Like his eyeballs are just looking at him right in his eyeballs. And he wore a beanie, and he looked kind of gangster. It was kind of low over his eyes, And so what would end up happening? This was so interesting. The dudes that would sit there and stare at me while I'd work out, they wouldn't look at me anymore. They'd always look at the bear. And man, Bernie has dealt with some very, very large, very trend up, like literally dudes that have seen time in the pen probably, just looking at him, just staring at him, just angry, just really angry. Just, oh man, I hate him. I hate that bear. Oh, why does that guy have a teddy bear in the gym? I don't understand it. And here I am, not worrying about you. You're distracted by my bear. It's literally like I've given a hamster to run on a hamster wheel. And guys, I encourage you guys to do this. If there's somebody that just can't quit, give them something to run on. Give the hamster a little hamster wheel to run on, and I'm telling you guys, it's pretty fun to watch, man. I know it's kind of it is mocking someone, but some people just can't be dealt with, and they're just never gonna stop, and they're in the gym for like 6 hours anyway talking about people. They're never gonna make any gains anyhow, and they're trying to just prevent you from making gains. So if you can disrupt their negativity and ripple their world, maybe they'll quit talking negatively about people eventually, and they'll just kind of worry about them because they've been so put off and so weirded out by something. They're just like, oh my god, I need to just mind and just I need to just worry about what I'm doing over here. That's what I need to do. Forget all this. Forget all this talking about people. I'm completely kidding. Most of those people never turn around. Like, they always just get caught up in that negativity, and they turn into that lump that I was talking about. They get addicted to the negativity, and then you just go into a negative, like, snowball. It just always gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you feel bad about the negative thing that you said about that person yesterday. So they say more negative things about another person today to make yourself feel good again. And it's like this natural high for people saying bad things about people. It's just like, I don't know, man. You ever had to be in a weird situation, like they just put you and another person, boom, together, like out of nowhere, and you don't even know the person, and it's like really socially awkward. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to drift a conversation towards negative? Like, it's really easy to complain. So easy to complain about things. It's like really, really easy. Sometimes I feel like the news and the media just gives people negative things. They just feed us negative stuff because it's so easy to talk about negative things, and it makes it like this election. There's so many negative things to say. Everybody's got negative stuff. It's so crazy. And it's just like a the media is like a kindling for a negative campfire that's just eating away everybody's soul. No, I'm completely kidding. But I do feel like media has a lot to do with people's negativity. And if you subject yourself to, like, just general news nowadays, if you just watch your local news, it's like murders and DUIs and car crashes and corruption and all this terrible stuff. They're rarely ever like, I mean, well, there are there are positive stories, but the negative stories are amplified so much more. I mean, negativity is really put on a pedestal, I feel like, in our media and our society right now. Like, people will go watch, I think it was, what was it, Miss America or something like that recently. Somebody messed up on a line, or somebody gave away the wrong trophy to someone, or something like that. But what it did do is it got everybody talking about Miss America again. And that's what matters. And see, like, people, if you think about, like, oh, okay, here's a prime example of this negative amplifying the fame thing. If you think about think about the most famous girl, the most famous woman right now, the one that all of them want to look like. Everybody wants to look like Kim Kardashian. Everybody wants a Kim Kardashian butt. Everybody. Every girl. And Kim Kardashian is, I think it's like 52 million followers on Instagram, okay? That's insane if you think about that. And what I want people to really think about for a second is I want you to go back in your mental time machine. I want you to spin the little hatch. It's got a air release. You just tighten the thing down, and then it's gonna repressurize for you so that you don't die when you time travel. Ready? Okay, we're gonna time travel back to when you first ever heard about Kim Kardashian ever in your life, ever. The very first thing that she ever did, and that's a sex tape. And now she is pretty much the famous woman. She's the queen of the media. Think about that, man. Like, really think of it. And then I want you to think about the other things that she's done in the time that goes up to now, from sex tape to now. I want you to really sit there and really think about, like, things that she's done, like good things. Yeah, there's not really much, man. And it's like there's always just a new rumor. There's always just new. There's always some kind of new corruption or some kind of cheating or somebody. It's always just gossip. It's always just negative all the time. Can you imagine living her life? Can you imagine sitting there in her life for like a week? Like, so many people have so much bad stuff to say about her, and it's literally all encouraged by the media. And it's then now you see quite often nowadays. I see sometimes I see something on the news or I'll hear it on the radio or whatever, somebody getting in trouble for something, and sometimes I can't help but think that person, some PR person told them, hey, if you get caught doing this and this, you'll be in the news and people will be talking about you again. Probably last time my other client got 365,000 followers last time he committed a crime, got a DUI, blah 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 blah. Something along the lines of that. And people are now like messing up on purpose, and it's like people are trying to be a train wreck so people will follow. And I feel like reality TV directly is responsible for this. It's I don't know, it's really disturbing to me. I really don't like how people are getting famous off being just a train wreck of a person, just a disaster, horrible, terrible person, and they're famous for it. Just because they have a certain aesthetic look, like, it's so weird to me. It's very, very, very strange. Very strange. All right. You guys, it's been 30 minutes. This time, like, really flew by. I actually had some stuff written down to talk about. I'm not even going to touch that this week because I'm going to save it for next week so that I have more to talk about. Now, what I want you guys to do, if you are doing something during this, it's not a podcast, it's a YouTube cast, audio log. I don't know, what do you want? I have no clue what you want to call the LP Variety Hour. But if you were doing something terrible during this, like this got you through, last week it was cleaning the bathroom for somebody. If this got you through driving to the dump and you're the guy that has to drive adult diapers to the disposal place. If it got you through doing that and it made your trip more pleasant, please comment that, because I want to start announcing every week. I want to start announcing the most terrible thing that someone was doing, so that you can get a little bit of credit for what you do, because a lot of people, I feel like, for example, semi-truck drivers, nobody ever lets them in on the freeway. Everybody is a total butthole to truck drivers when it comes to driving around on the road. And you know what, man? I challenge people to tell me something that didn't get to them via a semi-truck. The shoes you're wearing, the phone that you're listening to me on right now, the computer that I'm making this on, the screen that I'm watching this be made on, the microphone I'm talking on, the mouse that I just moved, the chair I'm sitting in, everything got moved by a semi-truck at one point in time. It all came in on a metal in a metal container, either from China, and it got put onto a boat, and then it showed up here and got put on a semi-truck. So everybody needs to treat those guys a lot better. And that's why, if you're getting through something terrible and this is getting you through something terrible, I want you to comment that, because maybe it's a terrible job that you do every single day, and you know what, man? You get no credit for it. Maybe you are the guy that drives adult diapers to the disposal thing, and you know what? Everybody's got grandparents. You should get some credit for what you do. That's just how I feel. Now, yet again, guys, if you guys did enjoy this, please leave me a comment. And last week, we got a comment from Chelsea Lifts. I'm just saying. That was pretty exciting. Big YouTubers coming in. Listen to this it's not a podcast, LP. Correct yourself. Listen to this LP Variety Hour. So if you guys enjoyed this, please leave me a comment. Tell your friends. If this gets you through your cardio, I'm going to try and make these exactly 30 minutes, and I'm going to try and upload them every Monday. I'm a little bit late today. I got a little bit busy doing stuff. Baby girl is actually quite sick, so I was kind of taking care of her too. Maybe I did take a nap with her. I could have probably recorded a Variety Hour then. I apologize, guys. But if you guys did enjoy this, please leave a comment. Hit that like button for me. Share it on your Facebook. Share it anywhere. Just share it for me, please. It's like paying me $1 in my pocket. Seriously, your comments mean so much. And hitting the like button also, it's like payment for me. It makes me want to make the next one. I will see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed.